If your leader has Land of Wano type and your opponent has 3 or more life cards, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5. That is this card. Welcome back, crew. We have a different leader for you today. We're going through Yamato, and Yamato is surprisingly good with the addition of the new starter deck cards. Now, before I jump into the list, gotta say, in the description above, below, wherever it is at the moment, I have some timestamps, so if you want to jump ahead to the games are phenomenal. We have 3 lined up. Have a look in the timestamps if you don't want to go through the deck list. If you do want to go through the deck list, we're going to do that now. And yeah, without further delay, let's have a look at what I have in this current deck. I haven't been I haven't done any searching for what current deck lists look like. I feel like any deck list that you see at the moment is still emerging and developing into something a little bit more spicy that will come. I am not fully set on a lot of these cards, but I will go through first the core cards, the ones that I think are definite inclusions into this deck. Firstly, the first one is this Searcher. This is a 1 cost, 0 power, 1k counter Yamato Searcher. Now, there is an effect on this. If you have 2 Don attached on your turn, this character gains 3000 power. On play, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to 1 Land of Wano card type with cost 2 or more, and add it to your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. Typical Searcher stuff. Now, this can turn into basically a 5k. If you've got 2 Don attached, there's 2 Don giving it 2000 power, and then it gets the plus 3000. This is really easy to activate with your Yamato leader because your Yamato leader has that effect that allows it to place 2 rested Don onto any of your characters. Now, if you're not familiar with this Yamato leader, its other ability here, double attack, is what defines this leader. I really like this leader because, as you all know, I love using Nico Robin, and Robin with Banish is able to apply pressure onto your opponent in a way that they really have to play around the leader in order to win. And I'm really enjoying Yamato for the exact same reason. They have to play around this double attack effect, and for them to play around the leader rather than characters, it makes them a lot more inefficient in general if you play your cards right. So let's have a look at now some of the other core cards of the deck. I would say another core card of the deck is going to be this Izzo. Izzo has another effect here with the Don ×2, which we can get from our leader. So if we have 2 Don on it, it becomes a blocker. Now, it is a 2 cost, 1000 power, 1k counter. Got the counter, I love that. On play, your Land of Wano type leader gains Banish during this turn, meaning you're a double attack Banish leader. Really crazy stuff, and your opponent knows you're playing this. They know every Yamato plays this ever since Onami came out. A Banish Yamato leader is a thing that they're trying to play around. Typically, your opponent will take the first hit because they want to have the counter to block the Banish hit. So they'll tend to take that first hit that's not banished. Keep that one in mind. So this one's a key card. I don't have an Ami in here. I might play around with a list that does run her later because I do also value that 5 cost, the trigger ability that KOs a 5 cost or less. So we'll keep Onami in mind because having more of these can't be a bad thing. Other core cards here. I feel as though this is core. Whether you run it at 4 or less, not sure. Personally, I still will continue to run it at 4 for the time being. It is at the moment my only method of removal, and it removes well. So let's read this card. 3 costs, 3000 power. 3000 is good because it's easy to bump it up to 5 using your leader effect, and it is still a 1k counter. On play, if your leader has land of Wano type, ours does, and your opponent has 3 or more, this is the only exception, 3 or more life cards, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with base cost 5 or less. So really easy to KO a 5 cost in this game with this card, and it only costs 3 to do it. So I think if you're able to hit a 5, you're doing well in value. I'm going to keep this one in here. I think it's a really solid early turn play. Might not even be on curve. It might be even on your 5 Don turn or 4 Don, depending where you're at. But still a very strong play even at that level of the game. And because you're doing a lot of Don stuff, your curve might be slightly different. All right, another core card of this deck has got to be this here, the Momo here. It's a 6 cost, 7000 power, and it goes hard. So first off, on your turn, if you have 2 or less life, this is the only card that works on your life. Your leader gains 1000 power. This is really good, and because your leader is trying to pressure your opponent so much, there's only 2 ways that they can really play against Yamato. Well, mostly one, and then that's through a race. They try and race your leader. And if they try and race your leader, you are very likely to have 2 or less life. And if you want to take your life, you can take it at any time. So you're easily able to play out this effect. So if you have that, then your leader gains 1000 power off the bat. If you play this on curve and you have 2 or less life, you then have a 7k body and a 6k leader. Now here's where the fun stuff happens. When you activate main, not on play, activate main, so still good into Blackbeard, you may return 2 of your currently given Don cards to your cost area rested. Now this is really, to return 2 means you have to give 2, and that's really easy because you can play this out, you get your 1k, you then use Yamato to give 2 of the 6 that you've used to play this to this character. Ideally not this character, ideally you would be doing this to another character that's on board, maybe Ashura, maybe you played this the turn before to get rid of a blocker, and then you put 2 on here, you swing with Ashura, then you take the 2 away with Momo. Momo now bumps up to an 8k and gains rush. So you swing a 5, you swing a 6 because it's bumped by 1, and then you swing an 8 because you gain rush and 1000 power for the turn. So with your 6 Don, you have then gained an extra 2000 here, an extra 1000 here, and an extra 1000 here. That's 4000. So you've basically converted 2 of your Don into a 6 cost body with 7000 power. It's pretty impressive, right? That's very strong. Getting this on the board early is very, very strong. And it doesn't matter if your opponent invests Don to remove it, because that just opens up the path for Yamato to come in and swing. Very strong card. So I think key cards, you need to have these 4 here. I think they're all very key. Hody, I think, is also very key because he is a game closer. In all of the games I play though, I didn't get the chance to use Hody because I was able to close it out so quickly. But if they did block her up, Hody is the one to stop that from happening. Other key cards here, not core, but I think are very, very important. Kinemon, he is a 2k counter. So at that alone, why not run him? He's also a 5,000 power body that you can trigger if your opponent's on 3 life cards or less. Easy to trigger. This one also triggers if your opponent's on 3 or less life cards. And when I say trigger, it triggers on play. So it becomes a character on your board. They both do. This one here has a cool effect on KO. If your opponent's at 3 or less life, place the top card of your deck onto your life, so you gain a life if this one gets KO'd by any effect or battle. Really good. These are very strong cards. I do recommend 4 of this one. This is a flex spot, but I think I'm going to continue to play 4 of these. Other key cards, Electrical Luna. I think this is the card that holds up green purple Luffy. So Yamato is playing in a very similar space to that. You're playing bodies around the same size and you're trying to rush in to attack. And I guess the disadvantage of rushing in for that attack is that then your board is susceptible to being rushed into, or you are yourself able to get rushed into because you've got no defense left. This is where Electrical Luna shines because you can rest 3 characters and then you don't have to worry about that happening on your opponent's next turn. I think they are the main core cards. One might argue Hiyori. I don't think it's core, but so useful that you should have it in your deck. Not core, but I think you should have it. And if you're running a lot of triggers like these, I think you should, because you can easily place this into your life to bring it onto the board, and then you've got all the attackers you need for your next turn. Right, so this card is not highly rated. I rate it very highly though, because it alone is a 1 cost counter card, which benefits you 3,000 power for the battle. Sorry, not battle, turn. It minuses 3,000 power from any character on your opponent's board or leader. This is a very good card, and when you start to look at the green Zoro deck in OP12, you'll see that Zoro swinging twice, it's able to consistently do that, has a very strong effect. And I started using this card when EBO2 came out, and that 6 cost Luffy that can restand itself came out, because this is where the fun stuff happens with this card. It minuses 3,000 power for the turn, so that 7k Luffy will now be a 4,000 power Luffy. And you know how it needs to return to Don, to active Don, to restand itself? It does that before you get to play any counter, meaning it has to commit to the restand. Then you can just play this card and instantly make it a 4,000 power, and its double swing is already negated. So really strong card, and you run multiple of them, you guarantee that it's not going to be able to power up and get into your leader. So it also has a really good trigger. It's like the 0 cost yellow card, except you can trigger the gain of life at any stage on the life stack. So if you've got 4 life and they take it, then you can trigger it out. You have to discard 2 cards, not 1 though. So that's the only disadvantage to its trigger. Really strong otherwise. They're the core cards. The other cards worth mentioning is this card here. It's basically a mini Hody. It's a 2k counter, 5 cost body. On play, if you have 2 or more rested characters in play, rest up to one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters. That's not bad. You can rest a blocker with this. It's going to be very situational. I'm not convinced yet on this card, but at the very least, it's a 2k counter. So I can't see why not. Why not, Other cards which probably going to ditch from the deck is this 2k counter. I think I've got enough 2k counters as it is, and it's not doing much. Not a great card. It can trigger and turn your leader into a 6k leader on your opponent's turn, but you know, is it that good? And I do have Yamato in here. Have never used this Yamato, but not sure. Might be good. Not sure. Jury's out on this one. Jury's out on this one as well. That's pretty much the deck that I've got so far. Definitely going to be working on this deck further because this leader goes hard. Very impressed with it. I'm going to keep on working on this deck because I think it is another very strong road deck for this format. And who knows, it might be a meta contender. We haven't seen this deck in its full form because we have a different meta to what we had in the East. So I look forward to seeing how this one pans out across this format. Let's jump into some games and I can show you the strength of this deck now. All right, we have Yamato into Betty. This will be our aggro matchup. Not liking that. Have to like this one. I'm only running the one set of searches and I'm thinking maybe that's not right. As a whole, not working. I'm going to play this here and just try and get them to waste a card here. Excellent. Because all we need to do is get them to use cards from hand. This will take away all of that early game pressure. Although they are doing it well this turn. And I got another one. I could do another one. I'm not going to play it. So may as well use it. Can't trigger anything yet. So we can use this effect right now. So let's do that. Let's destroy this thing. I can then throw 2 Don onto this. Did that not? Grant a character to rested. Oh, is there a limit to this? No, not sure what's going on there. I'm just going to do this and attack face. Then what I'm going to do is grant this one. There we go. Now it's worked. And attack in here. Yep, cool. We're doing really good. This Belo Betty matchup I don't think is going to take too long. It's obviously a race here and I think we are winning this one. So yeah, attack into me. I can rest one of them. Or I can just hold it and next turn rest all of them. Let's do that. Let's do that instead. And I will defend that. Okay, they didn't want to give me too much here. That's fine. What we're going to do, play this out. We're going to give 2 rested to this one. I'm going to attack in at character. That's not what you do. That's not what you do here. Then what we're going to do is return these 2. And why? Oh, we didn't have 2 or less life cards. That's why we didn't get the bonus 1000 there. Okay, I think we're still going to attack in here. And then I'm going to throw 1 onto Yamato and go at life again. And they took that. Don't know what to say here. If I was them, I wouldn't know how to approach this situation because I've got too much on board for this blocker to deal with. So yeah, going for board is a good decision, but then I've got all the life and I can just swing through. And what they don't realize is I can Lunar them. So I play Luna, I play this, and then with my remaining 2 Don, I attack at face. I just do that. I'm just going to play that out now. They don't have the counter. Drop this. Freeze those. End turn. I think this is... Betty's got to call it quits here, really. They're going to need 2 blockers this turn. No. They knew what was coming to them. That is insane. The power in this deck against aggro. This aggro's the aggroest of all the decks. Crazy. All right. Let's see how it goes into... I was going to say a stronger deck. Betty is a strong deck. Let's see how it goes into a more of a control deck. All right, we have found ourselves a blue pepper Luffy. This is okay. I do like this. This could be good as well. Let's keep this one. And Hody's what we need to close this game as well. So everything's looking pretty good so far. Can't really play anything this turn. I could use Hiyori. Just for the fun of it. Let's do that. No, that doesn't help us. That's no good for us. Still put it back up there. Okay, what a waste of a 2k counter. And yeah, of course you're going to swing for me to throw out a 2k counter. All right, they use gear 2 to ramp. This is going smoothly. I think this is the turn that we're going to play. Now they'll just discard a 2k from that. We've got 2 Izzo, so I think we double down on this. Let's do that. Get rid of a 2k. Yep. End turn. Probably should have turned this into a blocker. But I wanted to take life. That is why I didn't do it. I wanted to take the life. All right. So I'm going to take that life that I wanted. So I can use trigger. See, all planned out. And okay. So this is here to block the attack. I can do 3, 2 is 5, leaves 1. They should have a 1k, so I'm not going to use Izzo. But I am going to swing over this thing and get rid of that. I'm going to... hit 2 over to get rid of another 2k. And then swing 1 with Kin. Oh. Oh. Interesting. Still swinging 1 with Kin. Doesn't look like they have... Yeah. This is really, really interesting. We're going to turn this into the blocker. And we're in for a strong next turn. We'll be on 8 Don. We can Hody. Might even be able to use mini Hody here. And we do have this as well. So, okay, you're going to hurt me as hard as you can here. That's fine. Bumping this back. That's okay as well. And we take this. And we're going to counter out of this one. No, we can't. Yeah, we're still countering out of this one. All right, we have a big banish opportunity here. I think they've got at most 2k in hand. Which is this. Not likely to play another one of these. I might just might create 2 blockers, or I might just attack with that. I think we're going to do this. That goes through. I think this could be game here. Possibly. Don't forget these two. 7? Do they have a 2k? I don't think they do. Game. Turn 4. This is a monster. This is an absolute monster. Taking down the king that easily. Not even sweating it. Still 2 in hand. I mean 2 in life. This would have turned into another attacker next turn. Didn't even need our win con card. Really, really strong. Really loving how this is playing. Let's find one more deck just to see if we can round this out. I think we're on a winner here. All right, I found ourselves a Zoro. Now, we're going to go first. Zoro, that's not good. No, not good. 1's good. I like that. Nothing else there I'm liking though. Zoro is an interesting deck because it is quite aggressive, but it's not aggressive like Betty. It can go the duration a little bit longer and just maintain a wide board. And it being able to maintain a wide board is what differentiates it between Betty. Not as fast, but consistently strong. Nothing we can play? Alright, gonna do silly Hiyori stuff again. No, I'm not. I'm attacking. I'm attacking them and giving them all the cards that they need. Yep. You wanted cards, I knew it, so there they are. But now we can activate stuff from trigger, which is why we've done it. And we can apply more pressure. So we're not taking this. I think we like this card in this matchup. We'll drop this because that is just a 2k. So I can take this one out. Ooh, I got 2. I'm going to take this out to start off with and then swing 2. See what this gets us. 2 cards. Yep. Nice. Very nice. This is going well. This is really good. And having this other Ashura here, I assure you it's going to be good. Taking out this guy. Sorry for that pun, everyone. I won't do that again. All right, we're going to ditch this and blocker. All right, let me just read this card quickly. If your leader has landed 1 O-type and your opponent has 3 or more life cards, KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a base cost of 5. That is this card. We KO this one outright. Or we KO this and go for life. 5, 2, 2. No, we're taking out this. Another one of those gone. See you later. Let's throw 2 rested onto this. 1 card from hand. One card, come on. I know you got it. Well, that means they don't have much counter. It means they don't have much counter. That's what that means. And what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 on here. Swing in. Yep. Expecting that. We're going to now use card action. Take top life. That was good, but not as good as this one. And we're going to end it there. This is, how do you say it? A shoe-in. I can't see this going backwards from here. Happy to lose 1, but we don't have to. I think I'm going to 2k counter out of this, which means they have to attack with Zoro. Actually, I should have let that go through, and that way we get the Okiku. Now they have a blocker up. Still, everything is looking good. Everything is looking good here. We can Hody take the life. We don't want to take that life. I think we just play out a Kiku here. And then we can throw 2 rested onto this one here. Is a 5. They don't have enough. They don't have enough here. So the order of play is actually a little bit different. We're going to attack with 3, so they block. They don't have the counter. Okay, they're doing that event. That's still okay for us. That's still okay. I might even... yeah, not liking all of the order of play that I have done here. Just end it here. Probably a better move there would have been to put 2 onto Hiyori and attack in on this. Yeah, we're going to lose that. That's fine. As I said, we want this life here, so let's take it. And then we've got an extra attack. They can't take us this turn, so what are they trying to do here? What is that? What is this? All right, let's banish here. What do they got? This could be, is it the +3? 2, 2. +3, 2. And then we just do 3 7s. You know, 3 6s is enough. I think 3 6s is enough. I'm going to do it like this instead. This has to go through. They take the 2. We do a 6. They drop 1. We do another 6. They drop 1. Like, we've mathed them out. That is Yamato into Zoro. We are chewing through all of these so quickly, so easily. Is crazy. This deck is insane. If you haven't tried out Yamato, with the new starter decks, you need to get on this. This is a fantastic deck. One I do recommend that you look into. I'm going to continue working on this deck because I think it's got so much potential. Stay tuned for that because there will be some real heat coming soon. If you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I do appreciate those. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, I'm so close to 100. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, someone's already hit that sub button and brought me up to 100. I know it's a small amount in comparison to a lot of other YouTubers, but I would appreciate it. And until next time, please do look after yourselves and look after your decks.